Some persons believe that once I know my points, my PowerPoint is sparkling, I have everything I need to land this performance. Yes, speaking is a performance because you engage your mind, body, voice, and space. You connect with the audience as well. My name is Candice Bailey, author of The Stretched Out Life, and I train persons to speak. I train persons to use their story to access certain spaces and places so that they can impact and influence with their powerful message. I truly believe that it takes more than just going on stage, doing a fantastic job, and walking off. There's so much that happens before your performance, during, and after. And I want to be able to take some time to talk about this. While you're here, I would love for you to join me on Instagram at Speak with Candice. You can also send me an email if you're interested in learning how to speak with me. You can email me at the name of my book, The Stretched Out Life at gmail.com, and I'll be happy to share and to train with you. So let's jump into things at this moment in time. Now, I would have borrowed a lot of my understanding of preparing, understanding pre and post production, because when you are in the space of speaking, you become a production company. You have to be able to understand the lingo and language of the space. So whether it's a conference you're at, you need to get good with these persons, with the security guard. Yep. From the time you enter the compound, from the time you enter the space or the building, first persons or one of the first persons you will see is the security guard. This person has access to keys, access to rooms, understands who is in control of what, understands the space. You want to be able to connect with that person for several reasons. Another key person that you should connect with is the cleaner. Why? Just in case something happens, just in case something spills, you want to be able to connect with that person so that they can quickly help you clean up and clear up. So, for instance, I have seen where persons have spoken after a very electrifying performance, and the performance included, let's just say, for instance, confetti and balloons, and that remained on the stage. And for some reason, the event doesn't have a stage manager. You want to connect with the cleaner to say, hey, I'm about to speak after this break, and the space is not yet set. Could you support me in getting it set? That is not really your job, but guess what? It's going to affect your job and your delivery. So you want to be able to get clear on that. Another thing is, let's just say you are speaking at a graduation function and the podium is a bit fingerprinted, if you know what I mean. It's not clear, it's going to really affect the visuals when streaming or recording. So the cleaner is the person to help you there. All of this is before you talk. The cleaner is also going to help you prepare the space. Let's just say you have props or objects that you want to position on stage. The cleaner or the staff that is responsible for bringing things on and off stage, stage management, the crew, you want to get good with these persons. The next set of persons you want to get good with is tech. Why? Because they are responsible for you being seen and heard. These are some of the things that people don't take into consideration. They just walk into a space, oh, I'm the speaker, they're the superstar, and they don't see that there's so many moving parts that they need to lean into and to sort out beforehand. By the way, someone is always watching you whether you believe it or not. So that's why it's important. Your mannerism, your attitude, your approach when you enter the space is very important, if you know what I mean. So that is part of the preparation process and preparing. to deliver your talk, your speech, your presentation is more than rehearsal. It's training, it's mental and spiritual programming and conditioning. So, what this looks like, it's more than just saying affirmations, it's by being anchored in who you are, who you belong to. And if you're anything like me and you're a believer, you know that you belong to the Most High God. I remember back in 2020, I started hosting online virtual events, and I called myself after a friend of mine decided to, name me the host with the most. So some of you may know me by that name. I had this very nice tagline: I'm the host with the most. I serve the most high God and I give the most value. So there and then persons understand my identity. And I am someone that needs to know my identity better than anybody else does. So the Bible says in Luke 14:28, it says, "For which of you intending to build a tower, not, first count the cost?" You may not be building a tower, but you're building a speaking platform. And you need to count the costs. You need to be able to understand, if I'm taking this speaking appointment, some people like to call it gigs. I don't like to call it gigs. It sounds like somebody at the side of the road trying to hitch a drop, hoping that they end up at an event to speak. You're not doing a gig, you are doing a speaking engagement. You are a professional speaker who is well paid. I prophesy that on your life at this moment in this time. So before going on stage, everything you do from the moment you enter the space affects everything. Let's just say your face is on the flyer, so when you touch down, everybody knows you are the speaker. How do you approach persons? Are you leaning into certain conversations that will help frame your delivery and your talk, your message? Are you being kind, compassionate, easy to connect with, or are you just moving across like you are the superstar in the space? These are some things to consider. So, mental and spiritual conditioning will look like, how do I prepare my mind and my spirit to deal with the space I'm influencing? Every speaker is a light. You are a light being shone, or you are shining in a dark place. You see this light? This light here, it's only able to influence that circle, that beam of space, that beam that is hitting the space. But when you speak, you don't know how far reaching your message will be, will go, and the impact it will have. So we talk about what to do before the talk. You want to be able to get good with these individuals. You want to be able to establish a green room for yourself. What does that mean? Well, in acting, there is this special room. Sometimes it's painted green, sometimes it's not, because probably people don't have time for that type of paint to go on the walls. But the green room is that space where you sit, you prepare yourself mentally, spiritually, you ground yourself, and you basically walk through what you are about to do in that moment in time. The green room is important because a lot of speakers, they are so excited about being in the space. They are ready to talk to every and any one that comes close to them, and that drains you. That could distract you. So it's very important to find or make a green room for yourself so that you'll be able to be prepared and confident for what you're about to deliver. So, what it looks like post engagement or post talk, you are still speaking and communicating off stage. The person that is on micing you, they are looking to see what type of person you are, if it makes sense to give you some good feedback in the evaluation form. Persons in the audience, they will come up to you. Somebody will come up to you and say, "I like your message." That is the moment for you to engage them. Why, thank you. What stood out as truth for you? What made you think? This gives you real-time feedback so you'll be able to perfect the next talk, the next performance, the next speaking engagement. Now, finally, testimonials and selling. A lot of speakers leave money on the table. Come, balloon, we need to go up in the air for this one. Like, why would you leave money on the table? When you are finished speaking, it doesn't end there. It does not end there. But in order for it to end well, it needs to be planned well. And how you plan well is when you get on that phone call or your agent gets on the phone call to book you getting this speaking engagement, you need to ask a couple of questions. Am I able to do a workshop after my talk? Does your programming have room for me to do a workshop with a breakout group? That is an extra $sign per workshop, per hour. Another question, would I have a table and a booth to engage with the community after my talk? Would I be able to sell from the stage my courses, my programs, my services? All of these things can happen at the end. And can I have my media person, my tech person, my videographer to capture me speaking and sharing and posing with some of the audience members? This is content that helps you build a virtual footprint so that you can get more speaking engagements going forward. So I hope this video really helped you start to think about some of the things. This is, of course, the tip of the iceberg because I go deep into training and letting persons know how we could get really practical on each of these things. There was another video that I had lined up to share, but for some reason I did not create a thumbnail for it. And I just want to put some bonus content here since we are already here, if that's okay with you. I want to talk about your framework. Yes, your framework will always work. This is bonus content, so get your pen, your paper out, and I want to give you this hot off the press. So I wrote down a couple of things, and I realized that persons find it hard to create a framework that they can have as the core of their message. So think about it like this. What is the skeleton of your talk? The skeleton of your talk are those talking points. The meat is the flavor and the content that you layer on it. How to create your framework? First step is, or one of the techniques or methods you can use, and I use this with my clients, I use these methods as well with my clients. One is perspective mindset shift. So maybe let's just say your audience is young entrepreneurs. You want to create a framework that will guide them through what I like to call perspective mindset shifts. So you'll do some research. How are they thinking about themselves? Are they saying they're too young to be too successful? They are not able to manage large sums of money. They may not be able to have the benefits as businessmen and businesswomen who have gone before them. So you want to be able to create a framework that will move them from mindset they currently have to the mindset they need to have to win. So between point A to point B, your framework is what you begin with, the journey you carry them through towards the transformation you want them to have. So that's the first method. The second method is process step by step. So you could have a perspective mindset shift, or you could decide to take them through a process. These are the steps you need to take, step 1, 2, 3, and 4, to get to this level of transformation. And finally, the other method is principles. Now, I love to read John Maxwell's content and books. I love to read his articles and the material he brings forward. And if you have noticed, John Maxwell loves to use numbers as his book titles: the 15 laws, 7 principles. These are his frameworks. And in the next video, I believe I'm going to share how to become an author simply by becoming a better speaker. Ooh, can't wait for that one. That'll be the last video for today. I've set a goal for myself to go live at least 5 or 6 or 7 times today. I've lost track of what number video is this, but I felt the nudge to come and share some of the things I've been thinking about. So principles. What are the principles, habits, or practices they need to incorporate into their lives to gain that transformation that they desire? So I hope this video truly helped you, and I can't wait to share the last video with you as we go through this. Oh, wow. So I was writing down something else here and I want to share it with you. Habakkuk 2:2. Write the vision and make it plain on tablets. So the framework is your core message, and this core message will definitely help transform the way you think, transform the way your audience thinks. And of course, it is one of the ways to get you to get booked and paid a second time around. So I hope this content was meaningful. Please drop any content in the comments what came up in your mind, some of the questions you may have, and I look forward to seeing you in the next mini class. Have a good one. Talk to you soon.